Hey y'all, so I kind of wanted to go over the Smarties Farm activity with you all through a video because I know that it is going to be a little challenging because you don't have Smarties or anything to do this with as you would in class. I do have a cough drop in. I do apologize, but I'm trying to get like this gross taste out of my mouth. So with that being said, I'm just gonna keep on talking. I'm gonna follow along on my sheet with, I don't actually have Smarties, I have some Lifesavers, cough drops, and some cashews that I'm gonna use to kind of demonstrate this. But you will be given how many of each thing that you would need or that I want you to have. So the Smarties would demonstrate your inventory. At this point, you should have defined what the definition of inventory is. Inventory is simply a physical count of all assets in a business. So what we're going to do is first we're going to take inventory of our Smarties Farm and we're going to write it at the top. And I may try to have this filled in for you all so that you don't have to stress it when it comes down to it and you don't have to remember anything. I just have to play around with it. So first thing, I am going to substitute my cashews for tractors. So I have 2 cashews. I guess you can see that. I have 2 cashews, so I'm gonna put tractors at the top. And I have 2 of them. And if you look at the key right here, it says tractors are $1,000 each. So we have $2,000 worth of tractors. All right, we're gonna leave the item type out for right this second. Or actually, yeah, we'll leave it out for now. So in place of the white, I'm going to use these cough drops, and I have 4 of those. And if you look at the key says that white are calves for sale in the barn. So we're just gonna put calves. We have 4 of those. They are $100 each. Okay, so we have $400. And again, we're gonna leave the item type out. Next, it says purple, which are breeding cows. I'm gonna use these 2 Lifesavers. I only have 2 of those. So I'm gonna put cows. I have 2. They are $100 each. So I have 200. Next up, it says pink, but we're gonna, in place of, use red. And I have 2 of those. Put this back over here. So I'm just gonna put land 2, and I have 2 acres of land. And acres, it's $1,000 per acre. All right, what's left? Yellow, I do not have fertilizer for my pasture. However, we can use our cow manure for fertilizer. Last thing is green, which is our seed bag, which is winter wheat. So it's the food for our cows. I have 3 green. So I'm gonna put seed bag. I have 3 of them, and they're $100 each. All right, so now we have calculated our inventory at the top here, which I may just tell you how many, what item you have and how many, and then you'll have to figure out the price per item and the total. So total is simply going to be just telling me if it's $1,000 per tractor and you have 2 of those, we know it's $2,000 there. All right, so we are going to move down to income, and you should know what income at this point, but the income is the amount of money received from selling a product or providing a service. So the PowerPoint says that you are going to sell all of your calves. So if you sell all of them, you're going to calculate your total. So we had 4 calves and they were the cough drops. We have 4 of those. So they are $100 each. So 4 times 100 is going to be 400. So we sold $400 worth of income. That's our income. So when you're doing this assignment, you're going to tell me how much money you made off of selling those calves. You may not have 4, you may have more than that, or you may have less, but you have to tell me what your income is there. All right, so next we're going to look at the expenses. And at this point, you should know what expenses are. Expenses are any costs associated with producing a product. So you are going to tell me so in this case, you're going to buy hay. So you're going to have to tell me how much hay it costs to feed your cows. And the directions at the bottom say, buy hay, feed breeding cattle. So it's $100 per cow. Well, we had 2 cows when I was going through my my inventory. I had 2 purple, so I have 2 cows. So I only spent $200 here. All right, next up, we're gonna look at the profit. So you should, again, know what the profit is, but I'm gonna tell you. Profit is the excess of receipts, or the income, the excess of receipts over payments or expenses for all factors. So it's basically your income minus expenses. So if you come up with a negative profit, then you have a loss instead of a profit. You're not going to make any money if you come up with a negative number. So we're going to place our profit loss number in this box. So looking back at our first sheet here, we found out that our income is $400 and our expenses were $200. So 400 minus 200 equals 200. So we made a profit of $200. Now, had it been 400 and 600, then we would have lost money. But in this case, we did make a profit. All right, so before we move on to depreciation, we could eat the fertilizer or the seeds. Sorry, I hadn't read through that part. So those will not depreciate because those are going to be taken out, which we didn't have any fertilizer, and our seeds or our food bags were the green. So I'm going to set those aside in this baggie. All right, next, let's see. Now we are going to look at non-depreciable items. So you should know that depreciation is what loses its value. Non-depreciable items are items that are sold within a year or do not make you money themselves. Qualifying, it doesn't produce something for you or you sell the actual item quickly. Common items include feed, seed, fertilizer, stocker cattle. Stocker cattle are cattle that you keep on your farm, or not keep on your farm. They're what you are feeding to fatten up. Or actually, those are feeder cattle. I'm sorry. Stocker cattle are just what you keep on your farm. I was right. Feeder cattle are what you feed to fatten up to sell them really quickly. So, with that being said, we would go back to our chart, and where it says item type, that's where we're going to fill in the non-depreciation or depreciation. So, our tractors, we're going to leave blank. Calves are non-depreciable because we're selling them. These, we're going to pretend that these cows are, did we sell those cows? No. These are, we're going to pretend are stocker cattle. So they're going to be non-depreciation. The land we're going to leave blank, and then the seed bag is going to be, we're going to leave that. We're going to leave that. That's going to be non-depreciation. The items that you have not eaten so far represent depreciable items. As each minute passes, you may depreciate one item or eat it if you were in class. So depreciable items are items that make you money over a period of time, or I'm sorry, items that make money for you over a period of time that can lose their value. So what qualifies? If used in a business or held in the production of income, or has a useful life longer than 1 year. So we're keeping it for longer than a year. So this includes breeding livestock, equipment such as tractors, computers, other things, land and land improvement, and that is all. So now we're going to go back to our chart, and we are going to put what is depreciable. So our tractors are depreciable. Our land is depreciable. Those are the only two, because we said our cows are stocker cows, cows could be depreciable too. So you could put both. All right, last but not least, we're going to answer this question at the bottom, just to kind of give you an idea of how you would do this. If you've made it this far in the video, then you're going to have the answer, because I'm going to calculate it with you all. If you received 5 calves, let's go ahead and write those down. We have 5 calves, 3 acres of land, no tractors, 2 fertilizers, 1 seed bag, and 7 cows. What would your total profit be? So profit is what we make after our income and expenses. So we are going to sell our calves, and calves are $100 each. So times 100, we get $500 for our calves. Seed bag is one seed bag cost us $100 each. So we got $100 for an expense. Our land is $1,000 each, and that equals I'm thinking to myself, that's $3,000 that leave. Fertilizer is $100. I don't know why I'm writing that. Equals $200. Fertilizer is an expense. And oh, we got 7 cows. Cows are $100 each. And in this case, we're gonna say that these cows are breeder cows, so we're gonna keep those. Or no, actually I take that back. These are gonna be stock cows. So these stock cows are we're gonna sell those. So they will be an expense. Or no, there will be an income. We're gonna sell them. Yeah. We're gonna sell the cows and the calves. But we're gonna keep the income. The income won't go in there. All right, so first let's calculate our expense. We have $300 worth of expenses. 500 and 700, that's $1,200 in income. That could be, we have 1,200 minus 300, that's 900. That's our profit. Or if you decide that you want to do this a different way, you have to make sure that you explain it at the bottom. If you decide to sell something or whatever. All right, I hope that was helpful. I know that was super long, but for one, you got the answer at the bottom and you got all the help that you could need. All right, bye guys.